Hello, you beautiful creatures. My name is Alexandra with This is Improv, and I am here with another episode of Talk About It Tuesday, where we talk about people who are involved in the arts and people who love the arts. I am here with the amazing, gorgeous, and extraordinary Lauren. Yes, go on.
Hi, everybody. Go on, please. Go on.
So, Lauren, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name's Lauren. I am 28 years old. I'm living in Los Angeles right now, but I am from New Jersey. New Jersey people out there. Hello. Tell me, I'm currently a student. I moved out here to go back to school. I'm in a Master's of Social Work program, so hoping to be done with that. I will be done with that in a year. Then gonna be trying to figure out how to incorporate it into my love of arts. Because people, arts, I want to do, and I know you don't have to choose. So, yeah, it's all about me.
Nice. Yeah. So Lauren and I know each other through the UCB improv classes because Angelica and I are still taking improv because you can never stop learning. So I wanted to know what made you choose going into the arts in general, because I know you said you did a little bit of theater throughout high school and stuff like that as well. So what made you choose improv as your next venture back into it?
Where did you go from A to B? Right, so I am a theater kid. I did theater in middle school and started to in high school. And I feel like this is all gonna tie together, but I have crippling anxiety. I've always had crippling anxiety, just generalized anxiety ever since I was a young kid. And it really, really kind of interacted with my love of performing too, because on one hand I just like wanted to do this thing, on the other hand like I dropped out of plays and wouldn't go to auditions because I had performance anxiety as well, and like auditions, stage fright, there's the word. So I feel like that kind of fear, and it's funny because I can't even pinpoint what the fear is, right? Like it's not even just fear of failure, it's just like fear of being seen almost. Was kind of at odds with my love of music and my love of performing for a really long time. And I ended up kind of sacrificing that a lot, and kind of growing up and kind of getting older, I realized that I don't want to be abandoning that part of me anymore. And quite frankly, I just got into improv. Always looked so fun. And I think that, you know, like we learn in class, like a big part of improv is trusting who you're with and just like taking risks and just being a goof, and sometimes it bombing, and that's fine. But I just love the idea of play, like shameless play. So I really wanted to take the dive, get into improv, and that's how I ended up here. And it has been so wonderful. Really, really, really powerful lesson in like helplessness, right? And just like diving in. And it's really awesome to meet great people like you two who kind of do it wholeheartedly and just dive right in. So
oh no, you're super fun to play with. Like it always sounds weird when we say it, but you're really fun to play with, because you have these characters that are like how you were saying, you have these shameless characters. So you've done a lot of like the child characters or the mom characters or this or that, but you have these extreme roles within them that are so nice, and like they just always kind of fit. So I don't think you ever have a character really that like does anything out of sorts within the scene. You're always beneficial to it. So I think it's super fun to play with your characters because they're so like, yeah, I do know that person. Like I know that kid or something.
Exactly. And it's so fun to kind of be pulling from, like they're all real, right? These characters are real. Like we know people like that, or we're pulling from real life or from ourselves too, like bits that like we haven't really let shine in a while. Like I know like this is our chance to really like play with our like inner child, as woo-woo as that sounds. Or if there's a scene where you can finally be the mean girl, because like I'm not really a mean girl in real life, but like I get to play that brat, right? It's just a really cool opportunity to be rooted in real, right? But just like totally have fun with it. And like I love your characters too, just kind of like taking these very real people that exist in real life for sure. It's like rolling with them and seeing how they'd like actually act in the situation. And it's just this really cool way I found to be real and also like performing. And it's like,
yeah, I know. It is. It's a little mind blowing to go into it and just, you know, let loose and do all your stuff and be able to have that experience, knowing that you can trust the people around you, because like we're all in the same situation of like, oh, we all have to be a goofball right now. And there's no other way around it. Yes, we're answering honestly, but like these are conversations that wouldn't normally happen between these two types of personalities, but they're gonna happen right now.
Right now, and we don't know what's coming. And that's, you know, what's so funny, Alex, is like I realized that improv is literally what happens in conversations. Like we don't know what other people are gonna say, right? And you just kind of go with it. And so it's been interesting kind of journey to be overcoming this like different kind of nervousness in improv when it's like we're just like somebody's gonna say something and you're gonna say something else, and like that's what, you know, like I don't know, it's been an interesting realization.
Yeah. When you are doing the exercises, what's one of the ones that you found that you connect with most, like one of the games or exercises?
I really love Ted the Loquacious Gardener. So fun. It's so fun.
Ted's fun. Ted is very fun.
Yeah, just seeing how people's suggestions, even just the name can already get like a character like going in your head.
Yeah.
And that's been really fun also to see other people's like interpretations too. That one. That's probably my top one.
That's good. Yeah. Ted the Loquacious Gardener, which is also very hard for me to say. I have a hard time pronouncing words. So
why did they like there are so many other adjectives that could have been like the name of the game, but of course not.
No, it has to be loquacious. It has to be. Now, Lauren, if you could build your taco from scratch, what kind of taco would you eat?
I could build taco from scratch. You know, this is hard too, because I'm thinking of like, I'm sure I'm not alone in that. So hard too, because I'm thinking of like ones that I loved before I stopped eating meat.
Yeah.
And like I want to say those, but also I'm like, it feels like a betrayal. Okay, so soft shell, little taco.
Okay.
Soft shell and a hard shell. There'd be some Beyond Meat crumbles because
they're delicious.
So good.
Yeah.
Shredded lettuce, diced tomatoes, diced red onions, cheese, salsa verde, and regular salsa, also the other kind, and sour cream. Oh my God, you're making me hungry.
Yeah.
Do you have this problem every Tuesday where you're just like, taco sounds good right about now?
Yes. Yes, pretty much. It is pretty much the main issue of a Tuesday. That sounds delicious. Honestly, that does sound like one of the best tacos to be had. And yeah, now we're hungry. Now we're all hungry.
I want to know your go-to taco.
Mine?
Yes.
I really like having a shrimp taco, like a spicy shrimp taco. Because ground beef, like I think because I eat ground beef and a bunch of other food that I'm like, oh, you know, it's fine. It's ground beef. So I really love like a nice, there was one called the Key West taco. That was like the best taco I've ever had. And it had brown rice, lettuce, the shrimp on top of the lettuce, and then the sauces on top. So it was the sour cream, and then it had some like lime something on it, like some lime sauce on it. And it was one of the best tacos I've ever had. I don't know what they put on the shrimp, but it was delicious. And that was my top taco.
So you're fancy. So you're fancy.
I have a fancy taco life. Soft shell, always soft shell. I can't do hard shell.
I can only do it if there's a soft, like also soft shell inside.
I understand. You need a cushion.
You need a cushion. now I'm literally thinking about where I can go get a taco.
Tacos. I'm telling you, they're the next big thing, like cephalopods that are going to take over the world. Tacos are going to be the main dish, you know? Talking about things that we love. If I saw you walking down the street and I was like, who's that over there? What's something I can't tell just by looking at you?
Oh, something you can't tell just by looking at me. Okay, I've got that initially I'm very intimidating looking, and I guess it's just because I have tattoos and I look intimidating, but I am like, I don't understand why people say that, and then like literally 2 minutes in they're like, never mind. So you wouldn't know that I'm literally the goof, like from the get-go, I'm just like a pretty goofy person. What else would you not know about me from walking down the street?
I mean, you are a goofball, yeah.
I am a goofball. What would you not know about me if I'm walking down the street? You wouldn't know that I can bend my elbow inside out. Unless I was walking down the street like that.
I hope you're not just walking down the street.
For a hot minute in high school, I tried cheerleading. Literally for one season. I was like, never mind. And like, I was highly discouraged by like, you have to do this a lot. And like, my arms would just not. And I was like, you know what? Not for me, because I can't even put my arms upright. It just.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, cheerleading is not the thing for those arms.
Also, I had like I don't know why they let me on the team. I don't know why. I had no qualifications. It's fine though.
They just believed in your spirit.
Yeah, my spirit, man.
Spirit. And if you were thinking of, you know, the arts in general, because you did a couple forms of theater, you also did musical theater. So what do you think is something almost like a PSA you would tell someone about the arts?
I think that there's so much that anybody can learn from the arts, if that makes sense. Like, even like, I feel like people can be kind of dissuaded from taking part, even in just like an improv class or just anything, because they're like, oh, I'm not good at that, or like, I'm not a good performer, or I'm not a good musician, or like whatever. But I feel like there's so much more in the arts, and not just the performing arts, but just in the kind of more artistic side of the world. There's like lessons in them, right? And I think like everybody can take from it, you know? And like, that's kind of what I've been trying to say. Like, I am so trying to shed some shame, like in my real life too. And like, improv has literally been such a good tool for that, right? It lets full-grown adults play. And like, we don't get permission to play a lot, you know? Yeah. And even with just like singing in the shower, man, even if like people aren't good at singing, there's just something about that freedom and being in your zone, right? I don't know. So I think my PSA, my poorly worded PSA is that there's something that everybody can take from this, right? And it's not just reserved for like the theater kids or like the rock stars or like whatever. There's so much more that I think like the world can really benefit from. And that's why I was so psyched to talk to you and Angelica about how you guys use improv to improve like public speaking, or just like shedding some nerves, or like the ways in which these kinds of artistic performance and like social work, if you will, like therapeutically, like literally like go together, right? And so I'm really excited to kind of be exploring that, because I think that there's like a lot of healing in it too. And they're like two things that I really love, and like they can happen at the same time, right?
Yeah, I think it's awesome. You know, we've talked a little bit off of this, how
it was still on Zoom.
still on Zoom, but off of the interview of you know, during movie nights, about like, you know, what we find so interesting about improv and the arts and how it's useful, because it is useful, and it is kind of like a little bit of therapy. It's like doing art, doing, you know, painting, sketching version of art, or singing, or listening to music, creating music, like whatever form of art you do, it is a little therapy in there because it's a concentration, you're focusing, and you're doing something that you know has a rhythm to it, or something that has a flow to it. And I really think that it's true. It's like you're able to finally let a little piece of you out and be able to express that with no judgment. So I think, 100%. I think it's something that can be used like with your social work and things like that. I think it's like awesome to combine everything. Improv is in everyday life. It's just gonna start. Thank you, Lauren, so much for joining us today on Talk About It Tuesday. I cannot believe that we finally got someone else here from our class.
Thank you. I feel so honored. Such a privilege.
Oh no, we are the honored ones. We are the honored ones. So Lauren, I would ask you to share your social medias, but Lauren does not have social medias because
I can't moderate my usage. But I plan to be revisiting it sometime. So maybe stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Look out for Lauren. Just over the mountain, over yonder, you know. And and thank you guys so much for joining us for another episode of Talk About It Tuesday. If you would like to sign up for any improv classes, sketch writing, improv for life, or corporate team building, you can go to www.thisisimprov.com and sign up today. And if you enjoy histories, mysteries, and ghost stories of Florida, we do have a podcast called This Is Legends of Yesterday, where we talk about all of that and more. So if you have a story, something creepy, weird, odd, or just hilarious that you know about Florida, then you can email us at one of the emails linked down below and just title it Legends Pod. And you can hear your story on the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, powered by Anchor. I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful, and glorious rest of your Taco Tuesday. Eat some tacos, my dudes. And thank you again, Lauren, for joining us.
So much, Alex.
Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.